you're already running behind, and then traffic just comes to a total halt. And what do you say? Oh, God bless the world. Is that what you would say? Or would you say something else, and would some fingers go flying, or what would happen? So, this, you're running behind, traffic is stopping, you're sitting there, you're watching the clock, you're thinking, what the heckaroo? And you're feeling frustration, pressure, urgency, especially if wherever you were going to go. That is a stability moment. Stability moment. Remember the spiraling down, the spiraling up, right? So what are we going to do? There's a pause, and then we're going to create a micro stability. So that micro stability could be hands on the wheel, a somatic experience. Feel the wheel. You're okay. Everything's fine. Wherever you were going, it's still going to be there when you get there, maybe a minute or two early. But feel your hands on the wheel. Create a micro stability for yourself so that you'll feel better. Traffic is not what has destabilized you, by the way, nor is it that you left late. Literally, it is the resistance to the traffic, the resistance to what is flowing. That is what is creating the destabilization for you, that you're feeling all of that in your body. So here's a phrase: this is happening and I can stay steady anyway. So that's a phrase that you can work. So basically your brain is used to working automatically, just reacting. And this is how you can start rewiring that response. And that phrase is, this is happening and I can stay steady anyway. So, because you can't always control what's happening, but you can always come back to yourself. And that is what these stability moments are all about. It's about you moving from the state, remember in the PDF, which you can always download, moving from the reactor, the programmed reactor, where you're just reacting on programs, to being aware that you're spiraling, to then creating a pause so that you can then move into a micro stability, like a somatic, or just to feel your hands on the wheel, your feet on the ground of the car, your breath, taking a breath and releasing it, moving from survival into the parasympathetic, where you can breathe again, where you're not in survival. And I have a quick story to tell you on traffic, because I used to be the queen of all kinds of stuff when there was traffic or anything. And meaning I was not really a kind person. And I had a mantra that I've shared with you before, but I'll share it again here. And that was, wherever you are, I'm not. And I'd spin around and move in, and all those. I was that crazy driver doing those things. And it just seemed, no matter when I was in traffic, that kind of stuff always happened. The traffic would stop. There'd be somebody that's a rude driver. Of course, it was never me, but there was always something. And so that mantra, I would say it over and over and over, like all the time. Wherever you are, I'm not. Anyway, I would just say it. And what is that when you just say something over and over and over again? That's called repetition. And what happens in your brain? That's called neuroplasticity, right? The brain's ability to rewire until you take your last breath. Repetition is one of the number one, probably most important rule of neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain. And here Lenny is, wherever you are, I'm not. And just putting in my brain that I am, wherever all of these people that are coming around, I'm not in that space, because I'm ahead of them. I'm moving away. But I'm creating all this chaos with that energy. One day, long ago, when I was really moving into my spirituality, I said, I'm going to drive with love and compassion. And so I literally said, one day I said, I drive with love and compassion. And I looked in the rear view mirror and I smiled at myself. And I just felt this peace come over me. And I tried it. And it was really interesting because I kept that smile on my face. I stayed in that good mood. And I mean, just that peaceful, not a good mood, just peaceful. And I didn't have anything happen. And I remembered and I started repeating that. This is before I understood neuroplasticity. I mean, I loved neuroplasticity in the brain, but I didn't understand how to make it work. Even then, I didn't know, because this has been many years now. But I get in the car and I say, I drive with love and compassion. So I started rewiring my brain. Every time I got in the car was many times, several times a day. I drive with love and compassion. I'd smile at myself in the rearview mirror. And just that intentional, the repetition and the smile with the emotion, now those are 3 rules of neuroplasticity, of 7, but those are, and intentional. So I was just really moving the energy and didn't even know it, but I knew it and that I felt it. I didn't need anyone to tell me. That's neuroplasticity. It's also spiritual. It's also peace. It's, it's a really good thing. Anyway, so you could try that. But what I noticed is all of a sudden, I hardly would ever ran into the things that I had run into several times a day. And all these drivers with the erratic driving, and notice I say they had erratic driving. So, must be a full moon. But anyway, that whole thing was just, I was bringing that energy. I was directing that energy by just, wherever you are, I'm not. And having that attitude of separation, by the way, separation from the whole, which is peace and love. Doesn't have to be all this craziness. So try that sometime. I drive with love and compassion, and smile in the rearview mirror. Smile at yourself and just knowing that you are choosing peace, and watch the energy. And the other thing I noticed is that even when I was running late and would get stuck in traffic, I would do what I'm telling you. Like literally, I would just breathe. And I didn't even have my model, because this model, I think it came together about a month ago or something. The stability spiral. So, but really understanding to take that pause and to find a micro stability. And so that's one of the things I would just, if somebody was in a hurry on my bumper or something, I'd move out of the way rather than saying, you're going to go the speed limit that I am. It's just a whole different shift. So, this is a stability moment when you choose rather to be destabilized by something that has happened externally, and you choose a stability moment to stabilize yourself, to become aware, to take the pause, to create a micro stability, like hands on the wheel. You can feel that, or you can feel your breath, or you can look in the mirror, in the rear view mirror as you're sitting there, and say, smile, which will shift the chemical, all the chemicals in your body, by the way, and say, I drive with love and compassion. Or you can use the phrase, this is happening and I can stay steady anyway. This is happening and I can stay steady anyway. How empowering is that? That's your phrase for today. So again, you can't always control what's happening, but you can always come back to yourself. You always can. It's a choice. I love you so very, very mucho. Today was day 7, April 7th. Today was day 7 of our 365. We're just getting started. My gosh-a-roos. So this again was your stability moment for day 7. You can do, be, change, have, create, become absolutely anything. I believe in you. You can do this. And we will see you tomorrow, as always, shining my light to brighten yours. And we'll see you tomorrow. I think I already said that. Okay. Ciao, Nis.